Why are holy books so obsessed with sex? There are billions of galaxies in the universe, trillions of stars, black holes that bend space and time, forces we barely understand. And yet, when you open the Bible, the Quran, or the Torah, you find detailed rules about women's bodies, men's desires, menstruation, clothing, virginity, who you can sleep with, how you sleep with them. What happens if you break these rules? This raises a simple but uncomfortable question. Why would a cosmic, all-knowing creator be so obsessed with human sexuality? This video is not mockery. This video is not an attack. This video simply places the text in front of you and asks, do these sound like the words of an infinite being or the concerns of ancient men? Let's examine the evidence. 1. Menstruation. Women are impure. Leviticus 15, 19-20. When a woman has a regular flow of blood, she will be unclean for 7 days. Anyone who touches her will be unclean till evening. Quran 2, 222. They ask you about menstruation. Say it is harm, so keep away from women during menstruation. Menstruation is a biological process. It's how human reproduction works. So why is it called impure or harmful? If God designed women's bodies, why would he call his own design unclean? Or does this reflect ancient men who didn't understand female biology? 2. Women's bodies must be covered. 1 Corinthians 11, 6. If a woman does not cover her head, she might as well have her hair cut off. Quran 24, 31. Tell believing women to lower their gaze, guard their private parts, and draw their veils over their bosoms. Why are women's bodies treated as inherently sexual? Why must women change their appearance to avoid tempting men? If God is all-powerful, why didn't he just make men capable of self-control? Or does this reflect societies where men controlled women's autonomy? 3. Virginity obsession. Deuteronomy 22, 20-21. If no proof of the young woman's virginity can be found, she shall be brought to her father's door, and the men of her town shall stone her to death. A woman's worth measured by her hymen. No similar rule for men. Why does an all-knowing God care so much about a piece of tissue? Or is this about controlling female sexuality in patriarchal societies? 4. Adultery. Death by stoning. Leviticus 20, 10. Both the adulterer and adulteress are to be put to death. Sahih Muslim, Book 17, Hadith 4192. A woman confessed adultery. The Prophet ordered her to be stoned. Adultery causes pain. It's a betrayal. But why is the punishment death? The same God who says turn the other cheek orders executions for extramarital sex? Or does this reflect honor-based tribal justice? 5. Homosexuality. Death penalty. Leviticus 20, 13. If a man has sexual relations with a man, both have done what is detestable. They are to be put to death. Hadith, Abu Dawood, 4462. Whoever you find doing the action of the people of Lot, execute the one who does it and the one to whom it is done. Homosexuality exists in over 1,500 animal species. If God created humans, he created their sexuality. Why would he create people with same-sex attraction, then demand their execution? Or is this ancient prejudice disguised as divine law? 6. Women as property. Exodus 20:17. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, his servant, his ox, or his donkey. Wife, servant, ox, donkey, all listed as property. Quran 4:34. Men are the protectors of women, because Allah has given the one more than the other. Why are women described as possessions to be managed? If God values equality, why do holy books place men in authority over women? Or were these books written by men for men? 7. Rape victims must marry their rapists. Deuteronomy 22, verses 28-29. If a man rapes a virgin, he must pay her father 50 shekels. He must marry her and can never divorce her. A woman is raped. The punishment? The rapist pays money to her father, then marries her. The victim spends her life with her attacker. Is this justice from a loving God, or a legal system where women were property and damaged goods had to be sold? 8. Polygamy, only for men. Quran 4, verse 3. Marry women of your choice, 2 or 3 or 4. 1 Kings 11, verse 3. Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Men can have multiple wives. Women cannot have multiple husbands. If this is divine wisdom, why is it one-sided? Or does this reflect the privileges of powerful men in ancient societies? 9. Sex with slaves is permitted. Quran 23, verses 5-6. Guard your private parts except from your wives or those your right hand possesses. Right hand possesses means slaves. You can't have sex outside marriage unless she's your slave. Why does God allow sex with enslaved women who cannot consent? Or is this a legal loophole for men in slave-owning societies? 10. Heaven's sexual reward. Quran 56, verses 35-37. We have produced the women of paradise in a new creation and made them virgins. Quran 55, verse 56. In them are women untouched by man or jinn. Paradise is described with sexual rewards for men, eternal virgins. What about women? What's their reward? If heaven is spiritual transcendence, why does it sound like a male fantasy? Conclusion: cosmic being or ancient men. Let's review. Menstruation equals impure. Women's bodies must be covered. Virginity is obsessively monitored. Adultery equals death. Homosexuality equals death. Women equal property. Rape victims must marry rapists. Polygamy is only for men. Sex slaves are permitted. Heaven equals sexual rewards for men. Now ask yourself, does this sound like the concerns of an infinite creator who designed galaxies? Or does this sound like the concerns of men in patriarchal, honor-based societies? 3 possibilities. 1. God is obsessed with sex. An all-powerful being who created black holes spends his time worried about hemlines and hymens. 2. It's all metaphor or context. These rules made sense then, but if they're eternal divine law, why do they need context? 3. Humans wrote these books. Men with power wrote rules that benefited men. They claimed divine authority to make those rules unquestionable. Which explanation makes more sense? Closing. You can say I'm twisting scripture. You can say I don't understand. You can say I'm going to hell. But answer one question. If these books are from God, why do they sound exactly like what powerful men in ancient societies would write? Think, research, decide for yourself.